Let me know if you guys can hear audio. Let's get it. As the room fill up, be sure to smash, and I mean just that, smash the like button. Let's continue to grind to shine. The name is Law Nation. Appreciate each and every last one of you. Parsons want to be great. I think he's already great, by the way. Dan Quinn, the answer, plus more. Let's get it. Off-season journey is always a great thing. Not necessarily a good thing. It's great to me. Come on. Let's get it. Come on. Mama said there'll be days just like this. Come on. As the room fill up, be sure, and I mean just that, be sure to smash upon the like button. Yo, come on. Hey, come on. All right. What's good with you all? I thank each and every last one of you all. I hope all of you all had a beautiful weekend. Shout out to all of the mothers, the moms, the future moms, as well as those who, have to do the both duties of it, right? Appreciate them of all of the love and adulations. Thank those who reached out this past weekend to check up on the family. I appreciate you guys so much. And I hope and I pray that all is well with you all. Now, shout out to you, Eddie. I appreciate you, JT. I see you in the chat. Shout out to you. Shout out to all of the Facebook people. If you guys can do me a huge favor, sharing is caring. Also, tag a friend, let a neighbor know where to go. If you're on the Facebook, let me know if you live right now. If you can see me on the Facebook, there we go. Burton, appreciate you. Burnett, appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. All right, so this weekend was very eventful. Dak Prescott had the Fight Finish campaign. He did that this weekend, as well as it was Mother's Day. We also got a chance to see the Lakers beat the Warriors. We got a chance to see Stephen A. Smith cry. Oh, my goodness. It was rookie mini camp. Some footages was out there. Shout out to the radio stations as well as 105.3 The Fan and the local media for being out there. We got a chance to see Overshawn move around, do some busy work there. We got a chance to see Darian Thompson. He's now the linebackers assistant right there, and he's been helping out with Overshawn and his transition of moving. That's Darian Thompson right there, helping out Overshawn transition over to the NFL. And we all know that it's a situation and scenario that the Dallas Cowboys, when we look at the complete picture, my goodness, it is really all on the mindset of my guy, Dan Quinn. Yeah, that's just what it is. Appreciate you, Brenda. Thank you. And we got a chance to see Stephen A. Smith cry. That alone is that alone. Just need a few moments. Wait a minute before we get this thing going. Emotional damage.
Guess in the end, I always knew the New York Knicks would lose. Tom Thibodeau. Team can't shoot.
Can't shoot, huh?
Play every 27 games this season. Don't give him a second of time in the playoffs. Grimes airball at the end of the game.
He going through it, dog.
Jalen Brunson spectacular.
He ain't lying.
41 points.
Watch him. His face.
But he was the only one who showed up. Done.
right? Hey, man, I don't supposed to have this much fun, man. I don't supposed to have this much fun, man. If you are a diehard Cowboy fan, if you are just a fan, just a casual fan of the Cowboys, this should have been in your joy this weekend. You know, this should have been at the top of your joy. Even if you are a New York Knicks fan, you know, you just got to relish in this love. I get it, right? Shout out to the Knicks, shout out to Jalen Brunson and all of those boys over there. Phenomenal job of getting to the where they used to be at. But man, I really don't even dive into basketball content like that. But man, this weekend, boy, I'm telling y'all, this was everything for me, man. God, dog, boy. Look, I literally, before I went to bed, I just put that thing on repeat because you know on the reel. It's an actual reel. They just go over and over again. And I listened to that reel about at least 1,000 times. If it got 1,000 views or 2,000 views, YouTube, it was because I was watching it over 1,000 times just on the repeat, you know? Chris214 says Marcus Spear got to tease him every time on First Take. He do. Hey, man, come on, man. Oh, man, common sense, I had a great weekend. You know, you all should all had a great weekend. Oh, my goodness, this will be forever in the history of time. So regardless of what happened for this season, you know, the rain will come, right? But on those rainy days, we got us an umbrella. Let me play the umbrella one more time. Just one more time for y'all, man.
Needed a few moments.
Just needed a few moments.
Season's over.
Season over.
Emotion.
Go, no. Go, get back. YouTube Illuminati, man, get it back.
Season's over.
Why is it all blue? Hold on. I know how to get around it. Hold on. One more time. There it is.
Season's over.
Emotional damage.
Listening in always.
We're going to get to some Cowboy content in a few.
Tom Thibodeau.
Just one more time.
Team can't shoot, but you only play Evan Fournier 27 games this season. Don't give him a second of time in the playoffs.
Damn.
Grimes airball at the end of the game.
Hey, bro,
Jalen
come on
Brunson
now, dog.
spectacular. 41 points.
Watch how you go, man. Watch this, man.
But he was the only one who showed up. Done.
All right, man. All right, let me leave him alone, man. All right, I'm quitting. I'm quitting now. Ramon, I'm quitting, man. All right, man. All right, so what we were going to talk about today? Oh, we were going to talk about Micah Parsons, man. I appreciate y'all so much, man. All right, so we all know that Micah Parsons is a man-child, man. He's been working out crazy this offseason, and he's been one of those guys that I can tell you, when you play that button, no days off.
No days off.
That's Micah Parsons, man.
Days off.
That is exactly who he is. He's been working and he's been grinding. Come on. Let's listen to some more audio about Parsons and then we get this show going, man.
Let's talk Cowboys here.
Can y'all hear audio?
Because you do have the Dallas Cowboys on the schedule coming up. Let me get this right. Home against the Seahawks. So that's an annual tradition is the Cowboys play the week after Thanksgiving, full complement of rest. The Seahawks are playing Thanksgiving night. Both teams have a full complement of rest to kick off the weekend, the weekend after Thanksgiving. So let's talk Dallas because you have some unique insight on one of their top players. Tell me where you just came from.
I just came down from Austin, Texas. I was down there in Austin getting a chance to go be around Micah Parsons for a few days, and we had a chance to work together. And this game right here is one of the ones I was excited about because, Seahawks had some really good young tackles last year. and Lucas and Cross. And so, I think Charles Cross showed that he could be a left tackle to look at for the future as a really good player and a great pick for the Seahawks. And he's going to have his hands full with a guy like Micah Parsons for sure. So it was really fun to get down there. You don't think of an O lineman and a D lineman working together, but it was fun for me.
Well, I mean,
Man, when you want to be great, when you want to be beyond great, which is elite, and I could be short selling Micah Parsons saying that he wanted to be great. He may want to be elite. And when you want to do that, you go find those things and you go seek out those things. And there's no obstacle that's going to be in the way. And you're going to figure it out one way or another. And that's just what you do. Regardless of it, there's no obstacles in the way when you want to be great. It goes back to what I've been saying. If you want a thing bad enough to go out there and fight for it, right? So when you want something so bad, and I know this is a movie, but don't y'all know that they pull things from actual life events to make movies? And if you guys not following me, Doctor Strange, I know it's a movie, but he wanted to be great. He wanted to use his hands again. And I'm going to pull this all together. But when you want something so bad, it's not money that will get in the way. Granted, he had a lot of money. There's no, hey, I've seen someone else do it, so now I'm going to elevate me from here to there. And Doctor Strange, believe it or not, in that Marvel's movie series, they don't beat Thanos without him. They don't. Without Doctor Strange, you don't beat Thanos. And he didn't have no superpowers. He had his mind. So when I think of Parsons, I think of Doctor Strange, right? Some people may look at it like, hey, he's more of the Incredible Hulk. Give him Thor, give him Thanos or something. No, his mindset is what separate him from this opposition. His mindset that he want to be great. Oh, excuse me. He want to be elite. So he go out there and seek those who were great or are great or elite. He's leaving no excuses on the table, ladies and gentlemen. And Cowboys, y'all got to love that, man. Can you imagine if all 53 men on this team had that same burning desire to want to be elite, not even great, right? Seeking out who they can marry up and match their game to, whether it's the opposing team, the opposition, or someone with the same set of skill set. Come on.
I mean, TJ, this one's for you.
Okay.
Why did you go? Tell everyone how you
So,
wound up going there.
Micah and I have kind of kept up with each other over the last couple of years. Once he got in the league, we had a inter squad practice and stuff with inter-squad practice, and when I was with the Rams, with the Cowboys, went over to Oxnard, and
Yep.
I got to go against him some when he was a young rookie, just and that kind of stuff. So
When he had yet to even take a snap in the league.
yeah, and so he had a rush or two that we went against each other, and really nothing to the play, but just afterwards I kind of shared some feedback with him, and so over the years we just kind of text here, there, or tweet, something DM or something to each other, like different things, and he reached out this offseason and said, man, would you have any interest in coming down where I train and working with me? And just, obviously you're going to have D-line coaches, you're going to have things you're going to learn from edge rush guys that you've been around. He's like, but I have the mentality, I want to practice against somebody who's really elite at being my opponent. And I want to get what's that feedback from that person, and why would he shoot his hands on this player? Why would he jump me in this scenario? So we watched a lot of tape of situational football, 3-step, 5-step, drop, the different drops quarterbacks take, and why the tackle takes a certain set or uses his hands a certain way. And it was really fun. It was really igniting for me. I was telling Sean McVay last night when I was coming back, like I was full sweat. I feel like I'm coaching out there, just having fun, getting excited, just talking ball, man. I love this game. It's changed my life, and I look forward to seeing how it changes other guys' lives. So to get to be a part of somebody like Micah Parsons' journey and just do something to help him in any way I can, it was fun for me.
How about that?
No doubt. So understanding the reason why, right? That's half of the battle, ladies and gentlemen. Understanding why a certain tackle or guard will have a deeper set, and they try to pivot. Like anybody can give you life lessons on how to swim, right? Anybody can say when you jump into the pool or you jump into the water, the body of water, go like this, go like that, right? And you can become a expert scholar in that, right? You can be like the best person to ever read a book on how to jump into the water, right? Go like this and go like that. You telling people and letting them know how to. But understanding the reason why. And there's no experience like real experience. Jumping into it for yourself. And what happened over a period of time, we got a lot of people who became experts in swimming, but never swim, right? Teaching the class on swimming, but never dumped into the water, never touched the water. But they know the book cover to cover, know every word, know chapter 3, know chapter 4 in the book of swimming. But baby, until you get into that water and let experience whoop you up a little time, you don't know nothing about swimming. All of that education, all of that knowledge you knew, thought you knew, goes straight out the window, right? So what Parsons is saying is basically, I want to jump into the deep end. I ain't talking about the knee deep stuff. No, I ain't talking about the waistline stuff. I want to jump into the deep end. And there's only so much of knowledge and information I can get from this level. I'm trying to get to this level. I'm trying to understand why you got to keep your arms and elbows inside, right? Why the chest is such a protection place. Why is always I got to fight off the hand, right? Why is this such an important way to win on half body, right? So a lot of people, they are naturally gifted and they lean on their traits, right? They lean on their abilities to do just those things. But until they understand the reason why, woo, I know some people right now watching, done seen that person that's ripped up, swole, right? Can jump out of the building. Probably can't hit water if they fell off a boat, right? But they never harnessed those abilities, right? And you walk in with just experience and wisdom and understanding of the game, and you whoop them every time. You whoop them every time. It goes all the way back to, and I'm not throwing any shade at anyone, right? That lay there sheetrock and shingles all day, right? They understand leverage, body control. And you fool around and get into a fight with them, you may be winning until you hear this. Because once they grab you, it's over with. They know how to leverage you. You see, one of the favorite movies I've seen back in the days was 300, right? Oh my goodness. The opening scene about when he was young, when he had to fight off the wolf, you know what I'm saying? The wolves or what have you, the animal that was seeking him. He had to understood that he had a long staff with a jagged edge at the end of it, right? And he backed himself into a corner, right? Whew. Why? Because he knew he had the wall of protection behind him. In short area spaces, he had more control with the dagger. You know, that's come from knowledge and experience, right? Of him fighting and picking up those things from his father. Putting all of those things together is how you win, baby. So now that you got Parsons, trying to learn all he can. And I'm not saying that he couldn't learn this with Tyron Smith. But he's seeking more and more information, more and more knowledge, more and more things to help him out.
The lion teaching, huh?
I mean,
as he likes to refer to him. He's a lion.
I love this dude, man.
It's rare. It's rare to think that that's the way he thinks. Like, hey, I don't want to just listen to guys who've done what I do. Right. I want to know what the guy who goes against me does. And I think that that's really cool to think that his mind thinks that way. Like,
let's go.
Always trying to find another edge, another thing that can make me a lead and great. And part of that week that was one of the most enjoyable things is I get down there on Tuesday and Jamar Chase is there working out with him.
Really?
Watching these two guys, and I think some guys have posted on social media and stuff, but watching these two guys do agility drills, the competition, the trash talk, the trying to beat each other every single rep, it's just unbelievable to see those two guys go at it. And Deuce Vaughn was there as well, young Cowboys running back in the draft this year.
How does he look to you?
Man, he's a small guy, but man, his ability to bend was unbelievable. I was talking to the trainer who was putting on the workout, and we were just talking about just his knee flexion and how well he can stay low and change direction. It's rare, and he was winning. I would give him credit. He was winning the reps, but Micah was right there with him, and Jamar as well. It was fun to watch those three guys, just athletic freaks, go at each other.
Well, it is.
Man, body control, low to the earth, man. You know what I'm saying? Hey, it's going to be hard. Look, I get it. A lot of people, they looking at this thing saying, you know what, man, Law, you be hyping these guys up, man. I ain't finna buy this again, dog. You ain't finna James Washington me again. No, Law, I ain't finna buy all of that stuff you been saying, man. I ain't finna do all that. I ain't finna fall for what Law is saying. No, don't do that. Trust your own eyes. But Christopher Deuce Vaughn is so small and tiny. It's going to be hard for the opposition to find him first and foremost, right? And then he brings a little punch. He brings a little punch to it. One of the favorite, I'm going back to Marvel, man. Wolverine is 4'8". Look it up. He's like 4'8", close to 5 foot. He's not a tall guy. But Wolverine will tear you up. And that's what I'm looking at Deuce. I'm looking at Deuce, man, as a small Wolverine type of thing. And I've seen the Wolverines in real life. I love watching the Animal Planet tear up a big bear, tear up a lion, tear up a tiger, tear up anything they get in his way. That Joker that right there, man, them Wolverines will tear you up, and they ain't big. Man, them and the honey badgers, they ain't big, but they will tear you clean up. And when they see red, shoo, it's over with. Yes, indeed. Shout out to you, Michael. Appreciate you for your support. Thank you so much for the $3.99 for your mind. Appreciate you, man. You
want to talk about a playmaker?
You're a playmaker for that.
That's a playmaker. He made the play.
He made the play right there. So it's one of those things whereas you got to make sure you take an account for it, right? And that's what a change of pace back is supposed to do. Once you get used to, hey, man, I know what Tony Pollard trying to do. He's trying to get to the edge and squeeze on the outside, And now you got a Deuce, when they say, White 80, hut, and you're like, all right, is he still in the A gap? He's in the B. Oh, man, this dude ran through the C gap, man. I couldn't find him. Now you're mad at each other. And all I'm looking for him to do is give me 10. Y'all look for 25. Give me 10. Look, I know when we play dominoes, we don't count those nickels. But I'll dime you all day. 10, 15, 10, 15. I'll 10 to 15 you all day. And then set up a big 25. You know what I'm saying? But some people only go for the 25. Lighters on the dresser. Yes, sir.
It's rare to have a kid in the league say, veteran type things like, I want to learn from somebody who knows. I don't know everything, right? That's a rarity sometimes in this league, but particularly rare from somebody who's been so damn dominant the first 2 years. Like he could rest on laurels. There's no question about what he's done.
You think of a young player, the success he's had in his first couple years.
Right.
To even be thinking like, man, I got to polish things up. I got to clean it up. I got to find another edge. I think most people would be like, you don't need any other edges. Like, you just keep being you. And I think that you really look at the elite guys in this sport and many others, that's their story. They were always trying to find, that 1%, that little edge that could just take them into, hey, I'm going to keep growing and keep getting better and keep refining who I am. And he is wound that way, man. Watching him work out, every rep is 100 miles an hour. He never has a half rep. It's full go, full sprint.
Yeah.
trash talk, competition, every rep of his workouts. It's fun to watch somebody do that.
Catch.
Yes, indeed, man. That's Rich Eisen, man. Wonderful excerpt and insight to what makes Parsons tick. What make him go? You know, Ramon says Deuce reaction time is off the chart. He's like the mongoose quick, right? The mongoose versus the snake. That mongoose fast, man. Shout out to you, Al Kareem. He says, shout out to you, Law. You must have read my message. Shout out to you, man. I'm just seeing it right now. Michael is a lion. I'm glad he is a cowboy. You ain't lying. You know, if he was somewhere else, man, we'd have been in trouble over here, man. But shout out to him. I truly believe what really can get this going is listening in also to the plan of action from Dan Quinn. I'm telling you guys, where the plan goes further, right, than talent, and then also being able to elevate, hear me out, elevate talent to this level is also the other end of it, and that is Dan Quinn. That is Dan Quinn, regardless of how you guys look at it or perceive it. Dan Quinn is that guy that can help this team out even more with Parsons. You know, a lot of times we would look at this and we would say to ourselves, you know, I get what you're saying, Law. I understand what you're saying, but Parsons will be great regardless. But sometimes you need that person that can elevate you. I don't know how many rings do Michael Jordan got, you know, without Phil Jackson. And I know this could be me just, you know, low swinging at my guy Michael Jordan. But how many do he have without him, right? You know, can somebody put that answer in there real quickly for your boy? You know. So sometimes you need to be in a right, proper system. You need to be able to have coach to player to elevate, right? So it's zero without Phil. And I'm not saying that Michael Jordan, wouldn't have been able to get one of those rings without Scottie Pippen. Oh, excuse me, without let me leave y'all alone, man. Somebody said zero without Phil. All right, Calais Cowboy, my off season got to go. Law Nation, I will make the trip to Oxnard this year. Keep up the great content. Parsons is the king of the pride. Yes, indeed. Let me get. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So it takes a team. It takes a collective unit. And that's what I'm trying to say.
This is one of my absolute favorite times of the year.
It's the most wonderful time
to see what
of
they
the
can
year.
become and the vision for what they have. I told
Can y'all
them
hear
the
that?
other day, it's a dream job, but it ain't easy. And there'll be a lot of work that goes into it. And sometimes the vision, we have to put it out there of what they can do here. It might be different than what they did in college.
Listen.
And how does that really happen? So I love it because I'm starting to get to know the dude before the player. And then when you can do that, that makes, you know, where kind of the magic comes to know why somebody's playing and what they can do. And so these little moments like today, just, okay, what would that look like? How would I try them there? And doing different things. So this month of onboarding, indoctrinating, however you want to say it, is such an important time. But it keeps me young because, okay, we're just go back to page one. And one of my old coaches, Bob Sutton, has said we can start at page one or go back to page one. But we're going to the beginning. And it's a fun time to do that.
In the beginning. Hey, you got to get it out of the mud one way or another. Let's go.
That's changed over time where it's more indoctrination instead of evaluation right away.
Yes, and I can still remember and sometimes during this time, I did an exercise the other day of what would you go back to tell your rookie self. I had some coaches do it and some players do it, but I can go back to my own one as a rookie coach in San Francisco, and after the draft was a full team minicamp for all the old heads. You guys remember those, where everybody came, and you can imagine the overwhelming experience for a rookie to, you know, over 2 practices. I think we did like 5 practices over the weekend, and it was wild. And so this is a little more structured and organized to help them so they don't miss one step, of the development. And really, that's what I want. Like, you can't like on a ladder, start climbing 3 steps, just the next one, and you can get proficient at that, and then to the next one.
What do you think?
No doubt, no doubt, no doubt. Oh, excuse me. Let me put this out there real quick. I'm by far not a LeBron James fan. You know, oh my goodness, I'm by far not a LeBron James fan. Oh, let's just put that out there real quickly. But he just somehow play on the team that I root for. And I can't stand LeBron James. I can't stand the brother. But he's on the team that I root for, unfortunately. So you gotta keep him at an arm's distance on the love and adulations for the team or what have you. But neither here nor there. I'm not saying by any stretch of going down that avenue that LeBron James is better than MJ. Let's not go down that pathway, you know. Let's not go down there. But one of the better players I've seen in my lifespan is Magic. You know, I grew up during that era, you know. But it is what it is. Shout out to what LeBron James is doing for the Lakers. Now, granted, for those who say, hey, you know, the bubble championship, look, man, that thing, you still get a ring. I'm counting all rings, y'all. You know, come on, y'all. Come on. Let's go. And the reason why I really can't stand the Bulls because y'all know what they did to my Lakers way back in the day. So I was sitting there like, man, I can't stand them Bulls. You know, I didn't get me a pair of Jordans. No. But shout out to MJ. And I have no ill will at the championships that they were able to obtain. You know, look, shout out to greatness, you know, shout out to the first push off, and he did that to Russell, and he was able to shoot that shot. He still had to make the shot. Even though it was a push off, he still had to make it. So Jordan was still Jordan, you know what I'm saying? But ask Jordan, could he beat the Detroit if they never changed those rules? Oh, my bad, I'm talking too much, man. Shout out to Jordan, though. Some people like, man, I can't stand you no more, Lord. I thought you supposed to like all of the greats, man. Come on, man. Everyone has at least a pair of Jordans, you know, it's from William Burnett. Nah, man, we grew up real less fortunate, you know? We grew up real less fortunate. It was a whole bunch of brothers in the house, man, that we couldn't get those, so... but shout out to him. Shout out to what they did and what they were able to do, especially with branding, man. Shout out to the Jays, man. I probably can go get me some Jays now, man. You know, I appreciate y'all, man. You been talking about Mozzie, man. Back to football.
Yeah, it's right now I would say learning the system, number one. And then what we can do is look at the movements, and we can try to do specific drills to help, you know, on your read to where to go. But without, you know, going against one another, we won't get as much of that. But you can certainly simulate drills and certain techniques. And so that's what you do. You've seen the guys on the sled and how to work things. So it's more about how we do things here. I had told the guys all across the league over the last 2 weeks, you know, every team has put in cover 3. It's not what we do, it's how we play it.
There you go. There you go.
I want them to understand there's an identity that was put in here long before they arrived, and so we just try to keep pounding that as hard as we can.
What do you what's it like to not have Mike around, and how did you guys kind of divvy up things without him here?
Yeah, and so we're one, it's easy because Mike's always so clear, hey, this is what we want to do. And so we had a real vision for what we wanted to get accomplished over this weekend with these guys. And it's mainly just, you know, taking those first steps. And I think Mike would fully agree to let's not miss one step of their development and see what we have and how we can communicate and testing them and see where they're at. And then we'll begin with Mike and everybody else here this week of, you know, merging everybody together. So if there was a time to miss for him, this would be, there's never a time that he would feel comfortable. We know, we all know we got his back, and we'll get him back soon.
I think that is much to do about nothing about Mike Parsons not being there. It'd be a different situation and storyline if he was at the buffet line. You know what I'm saying? If he's at all you can eat, and then all we seen him was just eating, right? So we can all look back at this and say it's much to do about nothing, especially due to the nature of Cowboys fandom and things like that of how we view people in general. You know, we do look at off season. We want to see a certain thing. And I'm not, and this is not going to be me throwing any shade or salt at Tony Romo, and I'm not throwing any shade at this, but this is not like Micah Parsons saying, hey, man, I want to make the Masters. I want to go and try to play golf here, you know. No. This is not that situation. This is more so like Parsons is trying to elevate his game. And my guy, hear me out, my guy Dan Quinn, he's setting the record straight. That's what he's doing. He's setting the record straight. Let's go. Let's listen to more what he has to say.
Coach, most teams on the offense, they love having multiplicity. You seem to have that on the defensive side of the ball. Are you excited about what you're going to be able to do with so many different packages this year?
Yeah, I've really tried to spend as much time as I could on that to make things for us where people could play dual roles. And so even on a day like today, there was certain people trying at different spots. And I do like that to find out what they can do. So not just this month, but even during training camp, you may see some guys in some different spots just to test it out and say, okay, we see this really long and fast guy. Could he guard a tight end on third down and make him a linebacker even though he's a D end? And could this linebacker who can play linebacker, can he rush? And so could this safety go down to play nickel? And when we can get to that spot where you're interchangeable pieces, I think that can just, it seems more complex, but really I would say the package can be easier, but we're just featuring people in different spots.
Is football going to a different?
No. I'm talking about in advance, not talking about what he's saying right there. We already know about the Mike McCarthy situation. I'm talking about in general. Of Micah Parsons not being there. That's what I'm talking about. I hope you guys understood what I'm saying. I already seen the interview, so I'm talking about what's leading up to what he's going to say. My bad, y'all.
Becoming positionless?
I think in some spaces it will be. I don't think we're going to see any corners playing nose tackle. I don't think, there's some things that won't. But I think for the amount of space plays that we have, a receiver that can be a runner can be a receiver, a tight end that can be a receiver, a D end that can play backer, a safety that can play nickel, those perimeter type of people, I think, is changing that way. And certainly we're seeing that in college. I don't know how many defensive ends were drafted compared to linebackers. Will would know that. But I think a lot of players are coming in. This guy's fast, he's athletic, get him on the field. And sometimes you're seeing a guy who might have traditionally been a linebacker in the past, but is using his speed and his athleticism to go play. So I want to just try to incorporate that as often as we can.
Does Overshawn fit into that mix?
He does.
And all of those?
Yep, he definitely does. And so going through the process, we even tagged people we thought would have, dual roles. It doesn't mean all of them will, but I do want to start that development. And sometimes it may be a whole year away to say, what would that look like behind the scenes, training in something, and then going. I think an example of that last year for our team was Bland, where he played outside early, and behind the scenes, we were working him at nickel. And then when Jordan got injured, he was ready for that space to go in and play well when that happened. But he was always behind the scenes kind of doing it. You don't want to have somebody do something for the first time in game week.
Man, that itself is some great insight about DaRon Bland and how behind the scenes he was working inside. Remember last year, hear me out, and I'm talking about this point right here. Last year, we didn't get a chance to see DaRon Bland in preseason nor in training camp out there in Oxnard working inside. We seen him primarily work the outside. So this is a good tidbit of information to let people know that even Dan Quinn will work you out in one spot and everybody see you there. And then when it's time to put the helmet and pad on, you're like, whoa, wait a minute. Now, hold on. Now, I wasn't seeing this from that angle. And that goes a long way, not a short way. So when we start thinking about Overshawn, right, he have the ability to play all three levels, literally. He can play safety. He can play linebacker, and he can play on the edge. Now, granted, he's not edge size, right? He's about 230, give or take. And that's on the high end. When you got pads on and everything else, he'd probably be a cool 220 right now, 225. Nevertheless, J-Rock is 215-ish. So he's already bigger than J-Rock. Now, I'm not even putting things out that J-Rock don't have the body to play linebacker for the full season, but he's more linear built. And nobody's going to walk up to J-Rock and say, hey, man, you need a sandwich, right? Nobody's going to say that. But what goes to show you that they are thinking future, right? They are thinking down the line. They're not looking at this thing as, okay, this is who he is. This is all what he will be out of this dude, Overshawn, right? So it goes to show you that also this dude, Dan Quinn, he got something up his sleeve, and I wouldn't be surprised at all, ladies and gentlemen, seeing Overshawn playing at Mike. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised seeing him playing on top of the roof, right? I wouldn't be surprised to look up and we sitting there looking at the NASCAR package. Now we seeing Overshawn. Hey, what he doing right there? You know what I'm saying? He needs some milk. What's going on? But we will find out by the element of surprise, just like Deron Bland.
Because then it could be difficult. They didn't know all the ins and outs and where the problems are in a down.
We're learning about them as guys. What do you learn about Overshawn during the draft process?
Well, that's the one nice part. He was not only we got to see him in Indianapolis, but also having him here. And when the players get to hear, it's a good feeling. We're with them all day. They're around a lot of different people. So I enjoy whether we're interacting with them on their campus or we're interacting with them here because we can find out a lot about them. What I found out today, what I was really happy with, is the communication piece. Of being inside and directing things. So whether you're at safety or a backer, just having that ability to communicate and talk to the guys, that's so important. The best of the best defenses, they talk. And so
they do.
If you saw us repeat a play, it might have not been due to the execution, it was due to the communication, that it wasn't loud enough or strong enough. So that's part of the teaching of them to go. The term I would say is they're grown, but they're not grown-ups. Like they don't communicate and say it in the way that we need to yet, but we'll get them to that spot.
You guys are obviously outstanding in defense a year ago, but then you add other pieces to it, Gilmore and Mozzie and some others. What do you think about when you look at what you have roster-wise, or just kind of what are your thoughts about where this defense can go?
Well, I think one for me, I think so much that I love this group, this team, and I love being on the journey with them, and so how to feature different guys who enter into this brotherhood of guys, that's the fun part of it. And so for a guy like Steph or for a guy like Mozzie or for any of the players that we added, it really doesn't matter how they got into the room. Now you're here. What are you going to do with it? And so that's a good thing to show examples of last year, the undrafted players who had a big impact, the guys who were drafted had the impact. So now that they're here, that's our job to find all the unique stuff that they have and then try to make that come to life. Not everybody's going to be good at everything, but if we can find out you're better at this than anybody, then that's how we need to try to feature you to start it off.
No doubt. Great explanation by Dan Quinn on that topic there. Just to segue just a little bit before we finish out this interview, division titles, I posted this, and boy, I got a lot of Eagle fans in there. And I got a few Giants and Washington team to comment, but more so the Eagle fans. Like, I get it, division titles is not Super Bowl rings, right? I get all of that. And I get where people say, well, y'all haven't done anything since 1996. I'll give you that. But have you caught up since 1996, right? That is the other part of it. And even with your division titles of 11, more than New York, more than Washington team, you're not doing more than them. You haven't caught up to them. Like, if you are an Eagle fan, right, your number one goal should be at least trying to catch up with the Washington team, right? And then when you defeat the Washington team or caught up with them, which you guys are way far behind the Washington team, right, is to ultimately try to catch up with the Giants. We the final boss. So you can't play Bison day one. You got to go work on Blanca. You got to go work on Chun Lee and E Honda. You know, to Hollisum. You know, you got to go start working on those guys first. But we will accept you guys coming over here, laying your bird droppings, and get beat up over here. But the reality of it is that even if the Cowboys have 24, right? And you guys go back and forth and say, hey, man, haven't been since 1996. The Cowboys been out of the mix since 28 years. Yeah, I give you all of that. But in the same breath, in the same conversation, explain to me, just give me a reasonable explanation on how come you guys since 1996 haven't surpassed us, right? Or haven't caught up. Look, haven't caught up with the other little ones, you know, with Washington. I would really accept trash talkers from the Giants community. I would literally accept them, you know, because they only one behind us, right? And I would casually accept the trash talking from the Washington team, right? At least they can say they've been there multiple times. But for the life of me, you know what I'm saying? How can the person with the least talk the most? You know what I'm saying? It's just crazy to me that they don't understand just basic math. It's just crazy, you know? Gonzalez says, Law, that's why Dan Quinn is the best, right? He wants players to learn different positions, right? Broaden their horizons, right? Make sure that they can add more to the trade, right? I feel you on that. This is our year. Quinn finally has a dog in the middle, right? Law Nation, believe the hype. This is our year. DC for life with the fire, baby. Ooh, woo. Come on, man.
When you pray for rain, you got to deal with the mud,
Yes,
too.
indeed, man. Appreciate you, Gonzalez. Yes, indeed. Quinn definitely have a plan. Yeah, let's listen.
Land was a undrafted guy.
Isaiah Lamb. Yeah.
Go ahead. I'll take these two. Go ahead. Yeah.
You said dual roles, and obviously Micah's kind of talked a little bit about defensive end. Do you still view him in that same way as dual roles, or are you still working on that?
Yeah, 100%. So he is a pass rushing linebacker. Okay, so if you ever need position changes, come to me. Okay, not through any of the guys, and we can adjust for that. I think what he was probably trying to say is I'm really emphasizing some pass rush into my off season.
All right, so hold on. Pass rushing linebackers. Now, shout out to my guy, Coach Marv. He hit me up this weekend and he said, hey, Law, the Cowboys are leaning more on 3-4 defense. Now, granted, 3-4 defense, you got to have athletic big linebackers, right? 9 times out of 10, 3-4 defenses will not work with your base 4-3 or the size and kind of caliber of linebackers that you have. And on top of that, with 3-4 defenses, you tend to have a nose tackle. Not just a guy that was a 3-tech that you put in at nose and say, hey, man, make it happen, dog. Because you got to play 9 times out of 10 in a 3-4 defense. Your interior guy will be doing 2-gap stuff, right? He's not going to shoot gaps. He got more responsibilities to make sure he acquires for 2 to allow your linebackers to roam, fly around, and hit. So I think that what Dan Quinn will do is still be some variations of that. Not saying that you can't, with all personnel, not play 3-4 defense. But when you start talking about a pass rushing linebacker, that puts you in the mind of a Von Miller, Khalil Mack, right? TJ Watt. Those are considered linebacker guys, right? That plays on the edge, that give you pass rushing things. I do look at my guy. Let me put a highlight of him right quick. I do look at my guy Parsons as that guy that have the ability to still be that chess piece that you can line up anywhere and everywhere. Now, when you start to think about Parsons in general, I would not want to relegate him to one side of the field. I do not want teams to point out the Mike and then also point out Parsons and slide pro his way, right? I don't want that. I really want the Cowboys to continue to utilize Parsons as that ultimate chess piece. Granted, you do have Mozzie. You do have the capability to have 2-1 techs out there on the field at the same time with Jonathan Hankins and Mozzie, right? And we've seen how big Osa got over this offseason, right? So we know and we understand that. And normally in the third year, Is this big Bo pushing big body can't stop me for the 9-8? Got to sell 1 million copy. Is this his 3rd season? So normally that big body steps in and they know how to move around in NFL time. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully we can continue to throw the wrinkles out there and leave no stone unturned. I would tell you, if I'm a Cowboys guy, right, front office guy, I would tell all of my guys, hush your mouth. Hush your mouth. We don't know where you're going to play it, right? We might want to have Parsons at safety. I start sprinkling some of that mama's cooking throughout. I don't want to give any leverage to the Giants on where Parsons will or will not be at, or where Overshawn will or will not be at, right? Where even Bland, is he going to be back inside or outside? No, nobody knows. Yes, indeed. How that is it Babyface? And nobody knows it but me. That would be me. You know, I will be babyfacing this thing out all the way. Nobody knows it but me. And that will give us an extra leverage. You know, that's how I would look at it. Come on.
Isaiah Lamb was a kid that you thought about transferring, but they said stay. And then you guys obviously were interested in him. What did you like about him?
Well, a lot of things, and I've had my eye on Zay for quite some time.
Tony Richard, bye, Babyface. Appreciate you.
From a year ago, and he had a fantastic junior year. Zay did. He had over 20 sacks and really lit it up. Like, who's this guy? I saw Bell and that, and so I kept up with him through the time, even with Marquise. I remember calling Marquise from the combine. Hey, Zay ran well. He did good. And I said, he's a dog. And so from that time, I've always had my vision on him, the size, the length. Could this defensive end play linebacker? Could he go down? I know he can rush. So I was just trying to add. He's one of the examples of what else can they do. And so he's somebody I'm excited to see, and there's no timeline on that. Like, development takes time. You're not going to get there in 1 day or 2 days. Like, we're going to be in this for the long haul to see what they can do. And not every person that you train at 2 spots works out that way.
Give it to them.
Okay, that didn't work. Let's go back and get good at something. So I'm pretty cognizant of that. I don't want a player to play slowly because they're overthinking. My job is to make them play fast and clean, where they can go run and they can go hit.
Woo! Hey, Mike McCarthy, take some notes on that one for Jalen Tolbert. Yeah. And that could have been a situation and scenario that was Kellen Moore. Like, look, man, I'm gonna give these guys too many things to go through and comb through. So that's just how that goes too. But Cowboy Nation, y'all get it, man. I want my guys to play fast. I want them to go run, hit, and talk all type of stuff, man. And that's how he is trying to come up with this particular scheme. I don't want my guys to be thinking. I don't want my guys to be out here worried about this and that. I want my guys to run, hit, and just play quick. Yes, indeed. Oh yeah. I found the lyrics right here, boy. That took me a minute, baby. Here it is. And nobody knows it but me. Come on, man, y'all sing that song. Yes, indeed. So that's what I want this particular team to do. You know what I'm saying? Yes, indeed, man. So appreciate everybody for tuning in. There it is, right? Let me share it. Let me share the link, man. Let me share y'all some singers. Y'all know the lyrics already. Boom. Here we go, man. Why don't y'all sing that at the next karaoke for your boy? And say, man, shout out to my guy, Law Nation, man. You know what I'm saying? Yes, indeed. All right, so with that being said, baby, let's go. One more time, y'all. One more time, man.
I needed a few moments. Season's over.
Emotional damage.
Guess in the end, I always knew the New York Knicks would lose.
No, he didn't.
Tom Thibodeau.
Damn.
Team can't shoot, but you only play Evan Fournier 27 games this season. Don't give him a second of time in the playoffs. Grimes airball at the end of the game. Jalen Brunson spectacular.
He ain't lying.
41 points.
It's building up.
But he was the only one who showed up. Done. Done. I needed a few moments.
Wait a minute, one more time, man. One more time.
Emotional damage.
Guess in the end, the New York Knicks would lose.
I got who he reminded me of when he said that. I can't play the image, but let me see if I can. This is who he reminded me of right here, y'all. Hold on, let me see if I can get it. Let me see if I can get it. Hold on. Y'all bear with me.
Grimes airball.
Y'all bear with me. Why is it not a Watch your face, watch your face.
Spectacular.
He ain't lying.
I'm gonna find that photo.
41 points.
Here it is, right here. My face gonna freeze for a second. I need to find.
But he was the only one who showed up.
My face gonna freeze a little bit. Here we go. Oh my God! I found the perfect face that he done made, man. Oh my gosh, man. One more time. Hold on.
Season's over.
We gonna open up the phone lines. Hold on. This is who he reminded me of when he made that face.
Tom Thibodeau.
This is who he reminded me of on this. Look, watch this.
Team can't shoot, but you only play Evan Fournier 27 games this season.
Y'all remember that scene on that movie?
In the playoffs. Grimes at the end of the game. Jalen Brunson spectacular.
Why'd he make that same face, man? Watch this, y'all. One more time.
But he was the only one who showed up.
That joke on that. Oh my gosh.
Damn.
Mama said there'll be days just like this, man. Oh my gosh, man. Is that your son? Stephen A. Smith. Is Will Smith's son your son? 657-390-7391. It's the hotline for your mind, man.
Done.
Son of God, not a son of Sam. Keep it off the books and keep it coming in. Reach the OFC what I'm coming.
Oh my gosh, man.
There are 3 participants in the conference. All participants are muted. Please announce yourself.
I got a man with the plan, and I ain't talking about 1,000 grand, but what about a man with the plan with 100 grand with the plan? What's good?
Hey, Lord, that was so wonderful what you did, man. I use that so much with my Knicks friends over here, man. Because you know I'm a Heat fan. So you know when you came out with that, I said, my boy Law on time. What? I was hitting their inbox with that video, man. They was crying. They got dudes, they would have talked to me, man. They... Lord came right on top with that one, boy. Woo!
Hey, they were talking spicy, wasn't they? Wasn't they talking spicy to you, man?
And I got a Knicks fan that's right by my house, my next door neighbor, man. You know, he, nigga, we got y'all. We gonna run through y'all. Talking all this spicy stuff, especially when they won the last game. When, you know, man, they, bruh, crying, tears. He's saying the same stuff. Trey. Randall gotta go. He's saying the same thing Steve said it before Stephen A said it. Randall gotta go, man. Randall gotta go.
Hey, the accident waiting to happen. Just wait on it. I should have, if I ever had the foresight, I should have just made a video in front of it.
That's what Philly fans are saying about their 76ers right now. You know they're comparing the 76ers to the Cowboys. Oh, we just like the Cowboys. We can't get out the second round. That's what they're saying right now, man.
I know what they saying right now, man.
Yeah,
but one
like
thing I can tell you though.
The second round.
One thing I can tell you though, man, about your head coach. He's a good head coach, man. They're gonna have to give him. They're gonna have to give him some corns and credos and credence, man. They got to give him credos and credence, man.
He got the key to Miami, man. He good wherever he go, man. He a made man.
Yo.
He a made man. He won championships with when we had all superstars. Come on, man, and we still rocking. Don't you understand? We got 7 undrafted players on the team, and we putting in work. It's Jimmy Butler and the randoms. That's what it is. It's Jimmy Butler and the randoms. Now, everybody's saying we're going to get swept. You know what I'm saying? They saying it's going to be a Jimmy.
They gave y'all a 3% chance of making it. A 3%.
Yeah.
3% chance.
If you had that ticket. Imagine if you went to Vegas, took that.
Ooh.
Be in the money, man.
I saw a conspiracy channel on TikTok. You know, TikTok good with the conspiracy stuff. TikTok real good with that, man. That's why they trying to get rid of TikTok, though, by the way. But they tell too much truth. They said literally, allegedly, Jimmy Butler's father is Michael Jordan.
That rumor been around for a while.
They got data, history, facial analysis and everything on TikTok, man.
I just heard that for a while. That you know.
Yeah.
Jimmy Butler, man. Shoot, I tell you what, you got some good genes, and dog. Hey, Jimmy mother should be straight.
She's straight.
Right now,
She's straight.
You never know. Shoot, I need that money under the table. Shoot, I still need it now. I don't care that he in the NBA. You still gonna pay me.
As they say, mama's babies, daddy's maybes. You know, a lot of people don't understand that saying. Because the mama know that's her baby. You know, it's always that daddy's maybe.
Right. Mama could spot her baby by the way they walk, man. That's my kid from a mile away. That's my kid. Right?
Yeah.
You absolutely right about that, Lo. You absolutely right.
But shout out to all of the mamas that know, and shout out to all of the daddies that know. You know.
Right.
You know.
There's some mamas that don't even know. They may know that that's their baby, but they don't know.
They don't know who the baby is. I'm the daddy. I'm the daddy. Hey, Ramon said this is his first time here, and he ain't from the South like me, man. We have all the time to say, yeah, that's daddy maybe right there. We got to see what he look like when he get by 12.
Yeah, then you got to figure it out. You know
then you figure it out. Oh, my goodness. What you got for the show today, bro?
But, man, you know, listen.
Oh, my God.
It's going to be crazy, man. Listen, we might got another Micah Parsons. Dan Quinn just kind of keeping it on the down low, man.
Pause. But go ahead.
We might got another one, man. Imagine having 2 of them, man. He could blitz too.
You talking about Sam Williams or you talking about
linebacker?
Oh, you talking about Overshawn?
Yeah.
I don't see, like, I'm not finna put him in a box. I'm not finna put him in a corner. I don't see Parsons, but I do see a specialized weapon though. I do see that.
One thing for sure, Lord, we got that linebacker that we always wanted to have. Now, he can play that spot to where it allows Parsons to do whatever Dan Quinn wants him to do.
True that. Now,
you know what I'm saying? We got the linebacker now, so it's like, okay, if Parsons is rushing off the edge, separating the linebacker play. Nah, that's not the case no more with him back there. And with that one tech that also, helps out Parsons too. So now Parsons can just roam. Parsons can really roam. We thought he was roaming his first year. On his second, he's going to really roam now.
Yeah, that's what we want. We want him to be able to line up anywhere.
Mm-hmm. You really not going to know where he's going to want to come from. And you can't slide protection no more because we got that one tech. What you going to slide protection? And he could take up 2 blocks.
True.
So you can't slide protection. What you going to do?
Yeah.
You got to worry about the one tech.
And you know how that goes, right? Initially, teams will say, all right, well, we're going to still go one-on-one. Teams are stubborn. You got to prove it first. And if my guy Mozzie can eat with his one-on-ones, and Jonathan Hankins going to do it.
Go one-on-one if you want to.
It's like pick your poison from there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's pick your poison.
Get hurt. Do that if you want to. And J-Rod, he could blitz too. And come on, man, we got safeties that could blitz. Go one-on-one if you want to, man. It's going to be barbecue chicken. Dan Quinn know how to scheme this defense up. I think we're going to get a lot of sacks this year, man.
No doubt. 100 grand. I know you're on the East Coast, man. Before I let you go, we played 2 New York teams, week 1 and week 2, or 2 East Coast teams. What they saying, what the temperature is out there, man? How we going to break their hearts?
Listen, man. The Jets flying high. They think they got a they think they got a playoff team, Lord. They acting crazy over here, man. They think they got if their team don't go to the playoffs, it's gonna be a failure. That's what they think. It's a failure if they don't go to the playoffs. They think that a lot of them think they can win it. I'm talking about the Super Bowl, Lord. That's how high they talking. They talking like this a jet town now. That's how they talking. And the Giants, they flying high too. Daniel Jones went to the playoffs with randoms. He went to the playoffs with nobody. Now Daniel Jones got some weapons. Daniel Jones about to take another step. That's what they saying.
No. He's better than Dak. Yeah, that's what they said. He elite.
Yeah. They saying, yo, he about to take a step. They talking about how they gonna go to the playoffs and all that. They like, y'all keep talking. Here's their thing.
What's that?
Dallas Cowboys and the Eagles keep talking to each other like it's just them two. They saying, we here. We here. It ain't just Cowboys and Eagles no more. The Giants is here.
Giants are into the room. Ooh, hey, they gonna pay Saquon, or they gonna let him play? Did he sign that? Did he sign it?
Saquon ain't even signed his extension. They offered Saquon $14 million. He turned it down. I don't think Saquon is going to be a Giant much longer. They don't want to pay him that money, man.
No doubt, man.
He wants $17 million.
Man, it's crazy, bro.
He told them he wants 17. They said, no, we'll give you 14. He said, no, he don't want 14.
Man.
Who do you think he is?
It's a good life to be a player, man.
I put the Giants on that.
Yeah,
if
14.
Zeke said, I want $17 million, what would your response be, Law?
Right now, dog, maybe love you, maybe love the 12 tubs, man, but not at that price. You know what I mean? Stretch out of 50 years.
What if the Cowboys offered him 14? You would still be mad.
Yeah, right now, man, I wouldn't. Look, Zeke, man, the path of the righteous man is beset on all sides by the iniquities of the selfish. But, right now, this is on the iniquities of the selfish, you say? But I appreciate you for calling in, fam.
No doubt, bro.
Yes, indeed. Hey, let people know to follow you at, man.
Hey, man, one more thing before I say that. You know what they saying about the Washington team?
Woo!
Want to know what they saying?
85 Bears, man. Go.
No. It's crickets. They don't exist. They at the kiddie table. It's all about the Giants, Cowboys, and Eagles.
Oh.
Ain't nobody even talking about Washington, Law. They not even a threat.
Okay.
It's like they don't even exist, Law.
You know, that's the team you got to worry out for there. You know
That's
what I'm saying?
it's bad. They're not even worried about this. They're like, man, with Washington. Man, please.
Man, you know, it's crazy, man. No, it's always crazy, man.
Washington keep getting disrespected, man. I'm telling you. But, hey, man, you guys can follow me, man, at Graphic Zone HD on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. That's Graphic Zone HD for all your graphic needs. I can handle it for you.
No doubt.
Contact me, and I will get back to you at an appropriate time. Or you can hit up my guy, Lord Nation. He will direct you to me.
There you go, man. I got your information right there on the screen, man. You got the leprechaun up there, Patrick's Day. Last photo, that was March 17th. Yesterday. Let's go, man. Appreciate you, fam. You just posted it. Appreciate you.
My guy.
Salute. That's Graphic Zone HD, man. Always, 100 grand, you know, HD, you know, and triple HD. All right, I got my guy, JT from the 260. You're live. Yellow. What about, let me bring up a JV then. JV, you're live for the 901.
Love Nation, what's going on?
Oh, man, all is well. Can't complain, bro.
It's great hearing from you again. Great speaking to the global social media. So I was going to say, based off yourself, hey, I'm cool with what all happened. Like I said, I put my trust in him to do his job and do it well. So I'm not too much concerned about that. I want to see what these guys can do, though. But, yeah, other than that, when it comes to these new guys that we drafted, we'll just go and see what they got. Now, I did want to ask you a question. I heard we had got, who was that, Isaiah Lamb?
Yeah.
Isaiah Lamb? Yeah. What you think about that guy?
I mean, my guy did a wonderful film analysis on him. J-Tuck, just check him out. I think that this guy got big. He can play on the edge. He's your guy that can be the future's parsing S, you know what I'm saying? He can be that type of stuff, man. But it goes to show you, of course, he come from a smaller school, right? And they probably want him to gain a little bit more weight to withstand where he's going to play at. And that's why it's so important for us to see these guys out there in Oxnard and training camp to see if everything that they did in college translate over to the pros.
Okay, so in your honest opinion, do you think that he'll be seeing much playing time at all?
Say again?
This season, do you think he'll be seeing much playing time at all this season if he were to make the team?
If he didn't make the team, he would get some playing time if he make the team, but it'll be very limited. We got a lot of guys, a lot of star power guys that need to get a chance to play. For example, as good as Sam Williams was for us last year, he only had a spoonful of reps.
Yeah, that upset me. That upset me. I want to see him get a lot more reps than he did. But, hey, I understand that one. Now, my main concern going on, and I haven't heard too many folks talking about this lately, and I know I talk about this often when I call. I just want to see an extension for CeeDee Lamb and Trevon Diggs. I prefer to have that done before the season starts, and I haven't heard any news on that. Have you heard any news on that or anything?
Can you repeat that, man? You're a little muffled. You're a little muffled there.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, yeah. I was just talking about what I normally talk about sometimes. It's about the extension for CeeDee Lamb and Trevon Diggs. I haven't heard anyone talking about that lately. I don't know if heard any news about that.
They've been quiet by the extension. You know, they with the approach that it can happen any night now or any day. So hopefully, man, we can hear some type of traction once actual veteran camp come to about.
Yeah, I mean, that's my main concern. I ain't even gonna lie. This offense is just getting those guys extended. I don't want to go into the season with those guys not being paid.
Yes,
I believe
indeed.
we still get under it, especially with Trevon Diggs. I think CeeDee Lamb they'll probably try to pick up an option on him, but Trevon Diggs, this can't get real at the end of the season. He doesn't have his money to focus on.
No doubt, man. Go ahead, man. Get ready to land the plane, fam.
Hey, that's all I want to talk about. Like I said, I appreciate this conversation with you on the Cowboys and things. This was fun. Hey, we have a great one. Everybody else, and I hope y'all had a wonderful Mother's Day yesterday. Talk with you later. Go Cowboys.
No doubt, man, JV. Appreciate you, man. Yes, indeed, man. I couldn't make out what I was trying, man. I'm glad he landed the plane, though. All right, so we got. I'm gonna circle back to my guy JT, man, from the 260. You live?
Hey, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now, man. Yeah.
Okay, so you're on Bluetooth, man, so it kind of messes up. But anyway, so what do you think about the Cowboys' defensive line, Law? Like, with Adam Mozzie Smith, how good does that make our run defense?
It should propel us. We should have a stronger interior. Shout out to Carlos for what he was able to do, and shout out to Neville Gallimore for trying to play one tech, but those guys just were 3 tech guys trying to play at one. Now we got a 1 tech guy that they're going to try to squeeze at 3 tech, and which is a whole lot better for us. I think that we're going to be better up front.
Right. So second question, and actually this is one I've been thinking about. So obviously our receiver room, it's sort of packed right now. Like we have a lot of guys, and we have to figure out how to get their mouths fed, basically. Like, do you think that at some point, if Sima Fehoko maybe doesn't make, not doesn't make, but if he isn't somebody who we're gonna feature at wide receiver, like, what do you think about moving him to like being like an undersized tight end?
I think that they mentioned that last year of him being a hybrid. And, tight end is one of the hardest positions to learn in the National Football League because you got to know the responsibilities of all of the running backs as well as the offensive line and your slot responsibilities as well as the outside wide receiver thing. So normally it's like a big learning curve. But if it's something like, hey, we just want to use him as mismatch opportunities to be the quote-unquote slot guy from the inside, then I can see that happening. I can see them rolling with that. But the only thing would be he's going to have to make some noise during the offseason for them to develop that package. I don't think that they will focus a lot of concentration and attention on someone like that if they're not making a lot of noise. That's a lot of packages that they have to install for him.
Right. And so what are the other things, and I don't know if you saw this, but like after the New York Giants traded up to get Jalen Hyatt, there were a lot of Giants fans, and even Hyatt himself, who started to talk a little bit of trash already. Like, what's your reaction?
Well, you got to prove it on the field. Now, granted, they had a great game. The Tennessee Volunteers versus the Alabama. They had a great game. But they had a guy by the name of breakout game. But they had a guy, Hendon Hooker. They got a cannon for an arm. I don't think that Danny got that type of arm talent to just be able to throw over the defense or what have you and to put that ball right there on the spot for Jalen. Granted, I get it, right now the levels of optimism for Jalen Hyatt is great. But we got a guy named Jalen, Marino, Cropper, who's just as fast as Jalen Hyatt. And I'm not saying that he's better. But what I'm saying is, as far as packages and what he will be able to do, they better watch out for him.
Yeah, I actually, what's weird though, and I actually agree with that. Like, just because you're talking about, I think more of like just his speed, like, because speed-wise, I think they can match up speed for speed. Like, I think the biggest thing, and I'll give you an example. Like, remember Deshaun Jackson when he fell to the second round?
True. Yeah.
Like, I honestly think, like, some of the same sort of, not narrative, but, like, there's a belief that Jalen Hyatt, the reason I think he fell, like, is mostly just because I feel like a lot of teams felt like Jalen Hyatt could only fit in one system. Like, basically, you'd have to put him in, like, an air raid offense. Like, just because of the fact that people think he's a speed guy. Like, that to me is kind of similar with Deshaun Jackson. Like, that and he was small. So I think there's something similar going on where maybe teams thought like he's too small and he can't run a route tree. Like, I think that was part of why teams passed up on him, because I actually thought the Chiefs once we took Monty Smith, I actually thought the Chiefs would take Hyatt.
You thought Chiefs would take him? Yeah, Hyatt is the guy. What's the guy that used to play for? He came out of Notre Dame. He just played for the Texans. Is it Will Fuller? Will Fuller?
Oh, yeah, Will Fuller.
I think that, and I'm not saying that Hyatt is Will Fuller because I think Hyatt got better hands than Will Fuller, but I think that could be his that could be his highest, or no, I ain't gonna do him like that. Because Will Fuller was like a one-trick deal. I think that Hyatt can develop into being a guy. Damn, man. What's the name of this guy's name? I think Hyatt. Oh, man, he was a journeyman. He played for multiple teams. I want to say Ted Ginn-ish. Hyatt can be Ted Ginn-ish. He can be Ted Ginn-ish. He can be that guy that could be playing like Ted Ginn on that type of level. I see that Hyatt, he can be that guy, and if they utilize him underneath, he can catch underneath. I'm not shortchanging the man. And Brian Daboll is a wizard as it relates to finding play designs for him. So it could work out for him. But we will have to wait and see, man. But I don't see Deshaun Jackson, though. I don't see Deshaun Jackson out of him, no.
Well, here's the thing, though. I feel like he may be in between those two guys we mentioned because I don't think he's as fast as Ted Ginn. Because Ted Ginn is one of the fastest receivers to ever come out of the draft, in my opinion. Like,
true.
I don't see him there. Deshaun, I don't know. It's kind of tough because Deshaun, I don't know. He's one of probably the 5 best deep threats to ever play in the NFL. Like, so I feel like he's going to be sort of in between there. Like, he's going to be better than Ted Ginn, but as far as Deshaun Jackson, I can't put him there either. Like, he's going to be somewhere in the middle.
What about Christian Watson from last year? You know, that went to, I believe, Green Bay, right?
Yeah, I can see that. I mean,
you can see that. Yeah, you can see that.
He's a little bit smaller, I think, than Watson is, isn't he?
Yes, indeed. I think he's smaller, but what else you have for the show before I let you? Robbie Anderson, Robbie Anderson, that's another comp that you can say, but he got a little bit more of underneath routes than Roby. But go ahead, one more point before I let you roll.
Okay, so one last thing, and this is something that I'm kind of interested in. So my comparable for Mozzie Smith to me, I mean he's a little bit shorter than this guy, but my comparison for Mozzie Smith is a guy like a John Henderson. Like, to me, if he hits his absolute ceiling, that's what he is. Like a bigger defensive tackle who, even though he's big, like he has wiggle. Like, cause one thing people forget, I think, because it was so long ago, is that John Henderson, for as big as he was, actually did have some pretty quick speed. Like that was how he was able to like get some pass rush at times. Like, do you think that Mozzie Smith can approach a John Henderson type of level?
If he developed pass rushing techniques and he looked at the feet or what have you, they raved at his feet, they raved at his strength. So we would see, man, if he's playing, with his feet up under him and not over launching and leaning forward, because sometimes we look at Michigan, he did get held up a little bit, So we would see how this staff make him play better with a wider base and see if he can get upfield and shoot gaps instead of doing the two-gap things. And he can be into those realms of that type of possibility.
Right.
Yes, indeed, man. I appreciate you, JT. Thank you so much for calling in, bro.
Hey, salute, Law Nation.
No doubt, man. I really like Jalen Hyatt, but at the time, it's system that you go to. It's the ability to run certain routes. I've seen somebody said Deshaun, is it Action Power? He says that Deshaun Jackson is more of a comp than anything. Well, I don't see Deshaun Jackson stuff from Jalen Hyatt. There's just two different type of a caliber of even build type of players. But as far as from a skill set, if you want to go that way, then we will find out. We'll find out, man. It'll be interesting to see from those boys. All right, so we got my guy. Let me just lock it up.
The conference has been locked.
Let's go with I got D Shift and Jake the Great. So for the 409, you're live. D Shift.
What's up, bro?
Not much.
Man, got a quick question for you, Law. So we got this little, the guys have been working out the wide receivers. They've all been with Dak over the off season. Kind of hearing the same rumblings. But what do you think is going to be different as opposed to, last off season with Dak? I don't want to try to put it all on Dak, but what are they going to do different for just for the overall? I know we got the new play caller and whatnot, but I feel like we kind of are going on the same approach of trying to develop these young guys. So I don't know what's going to be different for a guy like Tolbert as opposed to what they had to know what they're getting in him. They had to know, Kellen Moore was Kellen Moore, and this rookie was this rookie. So what are they going to do different for a guy like Tolbert in order for us to see if we can get something back on that investment?
Well, most people don't shine their first year, and especially at wide receivers. I get it when you drafted earlier in the rounds, like
man, they ain't even like the candle. They ain't even like the candle, Law.
He didn't have a chance. He didn't have a chance to fail, right? So outside of the one time that we kind of looking at him in Green Bay, right, and all through off season and training camp, we didn't get a chance to see him out there a lot because of the hammy. But a third round draft pick, right? He was a third round draft pick. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. So give.
I would have been satisfied with a Terrence Williams type production, and you can maybe argue that he didn't have
he didn't have the opportunity,
or a Dez or a Witten around him. But
he didn't have the opportunity.
Yeah.
You could have had Joe Montana if he didn't get the opportunity. He just didn't get the opportunity. We had a lot of guys that the Cowboys had a system that was developed for levels of trust, meaning that I'm gonna run a 5-yard hitch and I got options at the end of it. I'm gonna run a 7-yard route and I got an option at the end of it. And for me to have a rookie in the third round to get out there in games where most of the games were pressing, it was just like the Cowboys just didn't have a chance. And what I'm trying to tell most fans is, hey, let this man develop. Let him ease out there on the field. I get it. We wanted him to show us something, but in last year's situation, I know it sounds like bevies of excuses. He just wouldn't have been able to flourish.
Yeah, man. Because I swear, I was leaving the Lions game last year. And I thought I saw Jalen Tolbert, and I was like a older woman, maybe like his grandma or something, just driving from the game, and I swear that was him, bro. And he just looked like, I don't know, it was just probably a good copy, a good clone. But man, I want the young guy to be able to just have that opportunity, I guess, overall, like you're saying. And it just blows my mind that there wasn't something, there wasn't like. Kellen Moore's supposed to be this offensive guru that everybody's saying that, we're going to be sorry that we lost. Surely, like, he didn't – the fact that he couldn't figure out anything lets you know, like, right then and there, we made a great decision on moving on from Kellen. Because you just don't make that type of investment and then you don't find anything, Yeah,
it would have been unbelievable to have the expectations of anyone, a rookie, to outperform that particular system. It just give this man an opportunity. He's his second year. He's still getting paid peanuts. So let's see what he can bring forth to the table. Think about it. Noah Brown been in that system for 6 years, right? Yeah. And he still had mistakes, right? Gallup been into that same system for over 6 years, and he still was making those same little small mistakes. Dak Prescott in that system with Kellen Moore / Jason Garrett, Linehan, his system was still making mistakes. So it was a complicated route concept that most people, when we look back and listen to him, hey man, look, Just run a hitch. Oh, no. Oh, let's at the end of it, we going to have pivots. No, man, send this man on a deep over. If he runs a 4.40, send him on a deep over. Send him on a post route. Send him on a seam. Look, for crying out loud, all they had to do is send Kevontae Turpin on a few nines, right? We didn't even see that, you know. So it's about all the Cowboy players knowing how to put these wide receivers in position to win, not about putting them in position to think.
Because them Eagles, man, they're beating their chest about Jalen Hurts coming into another year, and he's going to be another year smarter, and that's cool.
That's cool.
But,
yeah.
like, depending on what their system does, like, he could have a Dak Prescott year, you know? So, man, that's all I got for the show, man, and just want to shout out to you, bro.
No doubt, man. Appreciate you, fam. Thank you. That's D Shift, y'all, from the 409. Like the systems, I get it, right? You know, shout out to my guy, Charles in Charge. He says, yes, Tolbert had plenty of opportunities. What are considered opportunities? What are considered plenty? You know, because it's all about perspectives, right? So snap counts and things like that count, right? So if you are saying that, hey, a guy got plenty of opportunities, then what is considered an opportunity? You know, what is considered plenty of chances? Because when I pull up the data right here, he had 3 targets. He's 3 targets. So when we pull up the data, we say, okay, he had 3 targets. Let me make it big so everybody can see it. We're going to pull it up right here. 3 targets. So within those 3 targets, he caught 2 passes for 12 yards. Let's see how many snaps he had. They don't even break that down over here. Hold on. Yeah, he only had 3 targets, 2 receptions, 12 yards. That's not a lot of opportunities, man. That's not even enough to gauge off of, right? So I'm not beating y'all up, but that's not enough. That's not enough for me to gauge off of. And even in preseason, he didn't have that many targets. He didn't have that many opportunities. Now, granted, this year, coming into his second season, he should be granted more and more opportunity, tangible opportunities that we can literally see. So, just what it is. We got my guy Jake the Great. You're live.
Yo, what's happening, Law? How you doing, man?
Nothing much, man. Nothing much.
First, can you hear me good? You know what I'm saying? I'm in riding old Megatron. I don't know if you can hear me good.
Yeah, I can hear you pretty well, man. You pretty good. You sound good.
Yeah, happy late Mother's Day. You know what I'm saying? I know while we're dealing with football, you know, we got real life stuff going down, and you know, I know that day means a lot to you. So happy belated Mother's Day, and I'm happy that you put that Prescott video up there about his foundation.
Yeah.
That face by finish, because I support Dak Prescott wholeheartedly, because I feel for him as a person that lost a mother to colon cancer and a father to cancer also.
Yeah.
You know, I support him because, you know, that man's mentally tough, and I feel like he's going to lead us to the Super Bowl, because when people talk about, oh, Dak throwing picks, could you imagine every time going out there knowing that your brother's gone and your mother's gone, you got to carry them with you, and that weight on your shoulder, people talking about interceptions. You know, little things in life when people going through big stuff. So I appreciate you putting that out there. You know what I'm saying? It means a lot to me to see that, though.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we don't know what's going on into the mind of a player, right? You know, for them to lose their mom, for them to lose their brother to suicide. And then I think last year, 2021, he lost his grandmother. But, you know, the world going to still continue to spin, right? And people are only going to gloss over it and then skip over it and then move on to something else and say, well, we want results, right? They don't give a dog about his hand being broken, right? They don't give a dog about what he's going through, people that he lean on as far as these things. No, they want results. So it's like taking the humanity away from a player and only wanting the things that they bring. You know, a lot of people is saying that a lot of people don't care about the money, but they care about what the money can bring, right? So you have a lot of people who will look at your lifestyle and they will say, okay, well, this person obviously got it made. So they don't care about that person's feeling. They just only care about, oh, this is what this person can bring. But they don't care. So that's why they would say stuff, to get up under people's skin to see if they can break them. I've seen, I forgot the name of the girl, but she's a mermaid, right? And I think Bailey's sisters, whatever, they are mermaid. But people would say crazy things, and don't care about the person's, feelings. It's just crazy. It's the world we live in, though.
Right. The world we live in. But on some football talk, man, I wish there was a way that we can just give Dan Quinn a boatload of money. Like, hey, man, I know you want to be a coach, but how about 2 times the head coach's money just to be a defensive coordinator? Because this guy is a gem, and, man, if we ever lose him as a defensive coordinator, I don't know how we can bounce back, man. You think that we can keep this man around forever as a defensive coordinator if the money's long enough?
No, man, every king would like to be a king in his own castle, right? And, money, like I said, is only a byproduct. These guys going to want a system of control and power. And it could be a situation that, when those things kind of meet and people start pointing fingers, he can say, hey, I want this head coaching job. I want to be able to be the king of my own castle and be able to move things. We would love for him to be forever the defensive coordinator, and Mike McCarthy forever to be whatever in his capacity as a head coach. But at some point, people are going to have to elevate and get to a spot where they can be in control of the other things. So that's just how that goes.
Right. And one last thing, right? You remember a long time ago, right? And this is about involving Ezekiel Elliott a little bit. Remember how back in the day they had Edgerrin James over there with the Indianapolis Colts? And it was like the heart and soul. And the year that they got into that contract dispute, they shipped him out to Arizona. They ended up winning the Super Bowl. Can you see something like that similar happening to Dallas? And if we do win a Super Bowl, would you give Zeke Elliott a ring? And that's all I got, though. Great show, and I'm out of here. Jake the Great.
No doubt, Jake the Great. He ain't gonna get a ring by by being on the team last year. He had to get a ring by being on the team this year. But I feel what you're saying. The thing is with Edge, phenomenal player, Hall of Fame player, right? Running back's lifespan is not the same as other players. They tend to age like bananas on the top of the of the refrigerator. But if the Cowboys do win the Super Bowl this year, which we will all be having a parade, without Ezekiel Elliott, Ezekiel Elliott would be the last thing they would be thinking of, right? Unfortunately. Now, if Zeke is somehow on this team, then of course he would get that ring. Drew Bledsoe got a ring. I doubt it if he wears it, right? He got him a ring, but he was on the backup side of it, right? Carson Wentz got him a ring, right? But he was injured. So I don't know if those boys wear those rings or even look at those rings as, hey, I got me a Super Bowl ring. I don't think that those boys walk around with it. Let me know if I'm wrong. Let me know if Drew Bledsoe said, hey, man, I got me a ring, man. No. So that's not the situation. That's not the situation. I think Zeke might go to Houston with Schultz, Noah Brown. That's the road. That's from my guy, JR. Could be. I think Tampa Bay will probably be the location for him. Appreciate y'all. I'm trying to read as much comments I can before we depart. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. Action Powers Law, you silly. Appreciate you, bro. Turpin was underutilized. Pollard was underutilized first couple of years. Yeah, that's just how it goes, man. Captain Rob says 5-year, 150. Yeah. What kind of contract do you see Michael signing with Dallas? How much and how long? I think somebody said 5-year, 150. I don't even know what Khalil Mack contract was 5-6 years when he first got his big contract. It's going to be somewhere north of that, type of deal. It's going to be Aaron Donald type of contract. It's going to be crazy. Law, I sent you that on Twitter. Did you get it? Which one? Turpin got with 2 touches. Turpin got what? 2 touches on the offense after all of that talk, laugh out loud. Yeah, I mean, come on. He wasn't even considered into the game plan, right? So you get it's a flow back and forth, like what comes first, the chicken or the egg, right? And the Cowboys themselves, they had to know. It's not like they came out of this situation saying Kellen Moore should not have no growing pains. They had to know that Kellen Moore will have growing pains. The expectation stays the same. It doesn't matter how much I tell people that this dude going to have growing pains. The expectations from the people from the outside said, no, he's a genius. He's great. We're going to win multiple Super Bowls. Like within those 28 years of us having that pitfall, you had to know that you really think that Dave Campo was going to win a Super Bowl. The expectations were the same. When we were 5-11, don't y'all know every year, press conference and things like that, Super Bowl or bust. There were no expectations of Cowboys are going to be trash. Cowboys are not going to make it to the playoffs. The expectations were the Cowboys going to the Super Bowl. The primetime slot games were still 5 and 6. 5 or 6 primetime slot games, right? And then when we had Parcells, that's when everybody like, all right, we can now see some of the talent that we have on this team being elevated, right? But he only had a short stay here. He was on his way out. People fail to realize he was on his way out within his 3rd year. That's not enough time to build your program for a long stay, right? What if I told you even in this short stay, we end up going to at least 2 playoff games, right? At least 2 of them. That's crazy. Then we get Wade Phillips. He was here with the expectations that he's going to be softer on the guys. Camp Cupcake, right? The guys should be able to perform better. And they did their first year, but it was off the backs of what Parcells pretty much put on this tape. And then the expectations from there, this team is Super Bowl talent. We got so many Pro Bowlers. We had 13 Pro Bowlers within that spell, right? 13 Pro Bowlers in one season. That's damn near good. But it don't matter how much talent you have when you don't know what to do with it, right? We had Jason Garrett for all of those years. Collectively, 12 to 13 years he was in the building. The expectations every year was Super Bowl. And people would lean on that. So now we have Mike McCarthy, who's going into his 4th year, and y'all still saying, hey, man, it's about time to move on from him, Law. You know, it's about time, man. He haven't generated us no Super Bowl. We haven't advanced farther way down the line in the playoffs, and y'all buy into that, right? Y'all started to consume that, right? And everybody would say, hey, what can go wrong will go wrong. And see, I'm telling you. Why? The expectations. We have been such a team that's been divided over all of these years, whether it be quarterback, is he elite, is he not elite, right? They don't have those conversations for other teams, right? They just talk about, hey, can the quarterback help us if we add more pieces around it, right? But every position group with the Cowboys is overanalyzed, right? They overanalyze CeeDee Lamb. They overanalyze Trayvon Diggs. They overanalyze Micah Parsons. They overanalyze every spot on our team. It's not overrating, it's just overanalyzing. But it is what it is, Cowboy Nation.
Guess in the end, I always knew the New York Knicks would lose. Tom Thibodeau.
That's not what it is.
Team can't shoot, but you only play Evan Fournier 27 games this season.
Yep.
Don't give him a second of time in the playoffs. Grimes airball at the end of the game.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Jalen Brunson spectacular.
He ain't lying.
He ain't lying.
41 points. But he was the only one who showed up. Done.
Hey, man, that made my day, y'all. I appreciate y'all so much, man, for tuning in. Cowboy Nation, don't fall into the trap. That is where they trying to take you. You see how passionate we are about our team. And they call us delusional. Whereas this guy, for his team and his love and adulations for his team, I don't think that the last time they won a championship was over 50 years ago. Phil Jackson was playing, something like that. You know what I'm saying? And they want you to discount your love for your team. They want to tell you that we don't have a chance, that we are the crazy ones, right? In actuality, I applaud Stephen A. Smith for being vulnerable, for letting his true fandom seep out. Because the same passion that he had for his team is the same passion day in and day out that I will have and that you guys have for your team. Our team, the Dallas Cowboys. I'm not saying that we ain't gonna win another one in 50 years, but I for dog sure would tell you, win, lose, or draw, I'm still rooting for my team. I'm still supporting my team. And we're going to try to figure out a way to get it for our team. And he shouldn't fold up like a wallet or a lawn chair. He should be back at it for the 2024 season or whenever the NBA season kick off again for his New York Knickerbockers. Whatever the name they may be. But for all Dallas Cowboys, win, lose, or draw, we bleeding silver and blue. And if you cut us, that's exactly what we gonna do. We gonna throw them hands also. But if you want a thing bad enough to go out there and fight for it, to work day and night for it, to give up your time, your peace, and your sleep, if all of your desires of it makes you quite mad enough that you don't get tired of it and it makes you hold everything tawdry and cheap, if life itself seems empty and useless without it, and all that you scheme and dream is about it, if you will gladly go out there and sweat for it, fret for it, or plan for it and lose all terror of your mind, if you will simply go after the thing you want with all of your capacity, strength, and scargacity, with faith, hope, and confidence, and stern pertinacity, if neither cold, poverty, or famish, or fame, or sickness of body or brain can turn you away from that very much so thing that you desire, if dogged and grim and besieged and beset with the help of Almighty, just like Micah Parsons, he's getting out there and he's trying to get it. He's seeking it, and you shall find. He's going after it with tenacity, with an approach just like he goes after the quarterbacks on the field, with that same level of mindset. There's a Parsons right there in this chat. There's somebody right now that's better. There's somebody right now that's hungry. All they got to do is just turn their mind to it. It goes all the way back to what I said about 2 hours ago with Dr. Strange. It was about his mind. He wanted it so bad, his hands. He couldn't wipe his nose, his backside. Couldn't do nothing. And when you are looking to be great or elite, nothing can get in the way of your desire, your dream, your goal. But there's going to be something that you got to sacrifice to get it. It's something that you gotta, let me, Uncle Charles here.
Sacrifice, don't give up the fight.
It's something that you gotta give up to go get it. There's many of people say, hey, I wanna be like you. I wanna do what you do. Drop all the things that you're doing right now. And come follow me. Come on, roll with me. Hey, man, my daddy died the other day, man. I can't do that right about now. Everybody got an excuse. Hey, man, I got to go bury him, man, quick, man. That offer didn't go away, but it was in the heart. There was somebody that would say, oh, I'll follow you. But when you start to leverage the sacrifice, I'm telling you guys.
Don't give up the fight.
Let me rewind just a little bit. I ain't ready to go right now. I want to get this one out. Hey, man, I want to follow you, man. I want to do the things that you doing right now. Hey, man, get rid of that Lexus you got. That Lambo you got. Get rid of that nice little whip you got. Come on, follow me, man. Come get it out of the mud. Get rid of them ladies, too. Hey, man, I don't know about that, man. Shoot. I like these Lambos.
Sacrifice, don't give up the fight.
Lord, what are you saying? Parsons is a multi-millionaire right now. He's young and vibrant. He could be doing millions of other things right now. But he is.
Sacrifice, don't give up the fight.
He's giving up his time for the pleasure. And he's working. He's getting it out of the mud. He's grinding. He's seeking greatness. He's going after elite status. And anybody and everyone that's listening right now, if you want to do something spectacular, you got to do what the average is not doing. So when someone say, hey, why do you do the things that you do, Lord? How are you able to go live for all of this time and still give us heat?
Sacrifice, don't give up the fight.
Because I'm elite. I'm great. Your gift shall make room for you. So when it's your gift, I don't work a day. God has blessed me with a gift. And that's why I can sacrifice. That's why I can do this. And that's why we are able to see greatness, even with Parsons, even with this conversation, even with everything that we doing right now. Like I said, if you want a thing bad enough to go out there and fight for it, to work day and night for it, to give up your time and your peace. That's been my time. I really thank you all for yours. Let me hear it one more time, Uncle Charles.
Sacrifice, don't give up the fight. Everything will be all right on any given Sunday. Yeah. Depend on you if you win or lose. You know you got to pay some dues to live on Monday. Yeah.
Damn.
Woo.
Damn.
Give me my theme music.
Oh, yeah. Hey. Give it to me, baby. And roll those crates. Let's go. Come on. Hey. Lately, I just want to run it up. Don't need no deals, baby. Shout out to you, Chris 214. Mike, appreciate you. Brandy, thank you. Cali Cowboy, shout out to the west side. The best side, huh? Anthony, appreciate you. Come on. Hey, shout out to you, JR. I'm wearing my 100,000. Appreciate you. Hey. Charge it to the game. Who with Law? Who with Parsons right now? Let me see 11 in the chat if you with Parsons. Shout out to you, Ramon. Too broke to pay attention. Appreciate you.
Search for the one, but baby girl, it's nothing real as this.
Stephen A.
Can't
Smith.
trust his soul, I keep a hammer, call it too legit.
Shout out to you, Gina. Let's go. Stephen A. Smith.
He needs some milk.
Let's go. Hey.
Kind of check a song. Lately, I just wanna run it up.
Shout out to you, JT. Sadiq, appreciate you. Zane, not the North. RT, appreciate you.
Too many foes and clothes.
Dallas Cowboy, hard hitter. Not soft hitter, hard hitter. Let's go. I'll be on roll along. Shout out to my guy, Action. The main man, Pow. Come on. Shout out to Dallas. Hard hitter. Hard. Let's say hard. Let's get it. Until next time. DC for life. Shout out to all of the mothers out there. Happy Mother's Day. And here's what I want to say, man, before I'm like that person that say, hey, man, I'm about to go, but I ain't ready to go. Well, I'm going to keep talking as the credit roll. Don't just celebrate Mother's Day on this weekend. That's bull sugar. Don't just celebrate your father on Father's Day. That's bull sugar. Honor both of your parents. Honor both of them as long as you live. Honor them, because without them, you won't be here. Nah. Don't be waiting for a certain day. Honor them throughout all the other days. And then also the one above, acknowledge him in all thy way too, not just some of the things, He say he wants you to be a part of the small things. That's why I say even the little things. I would be sitting like, thank you, Lord. That was the little things. I'm acknowledge him in all thy way. Boy, y'all just don't know. It's the little things. When you have a relationship with someone, shoot, they don't want to know just about the big moments. They want to know about the small things too. So in all thy way, and do the parents the same way too. Come on. We about one love. Shoot. Log out 1 subscriber today. Oh, praise God. Hallelujah. Thank you. For those who understand that, master a few things and I'll make you a ruler over many things. It's the little things, man. If you appreciate the small things, woo, man, all of a sudden the bigger things, you'll be able to handle that. I treated y'all the same, whether it's 10,000 subscribers, 50,000, or 100,000. Wait till I get to 1 million. Y'all gonna be saying, hey man, this dude is treating us just like we had 100,000. My goodness, we getting some good stuff from the nation, baby. But don't let the street lights hit you though. I'll make you a ruler over many. Let's go. Player 2. I'll follow wherever you go, whatever you do. Player 2. It just hit me. Ooh, think about your dedication. Think about how dedicated you are now, even when we were not winning. How good and how glory it would be when we are winning. Your dedication will be even more. Boy, people, they don't understand that too. Don't let the street lights hit you. Where that street light at? I'll follow wherever you go, whatever you do.
paper crane can fly, then forever doesn't feel that far. So far, so far. If a paper crane can fly, then forever doesn't feel that far. So far, so far. If a paper crane can fly, fly on, fly on, fly on, fly on, fly on.
Hey, bro, come on now, dog. Come on, man.
One love, baby.
You have to be your biggest fan. And when things are really tough and they're really rough and nothing's working, but there's something inside of you that says, I just have to follow that. Because you don't know who you're going to meet, who you're going to meet, who you're going
Season's over.
Emotional damage.
Guess in the end, I always knew the New York Knicks would lose. Tom Thibodeau. Team can't shoot, but you only play Evan Fournier 27 games this season. Don't give him a second of time in the playoffs. Grimes airball at the end of the game. Jalen Brunson spectacular.
He ain't lying.
41 points. But he was the only one who showed up. Done. Done. I needed a few moments. Season's over.
Emotional damage.
Guess in the end, I knew the New York Knicks would lose.
Get your damn act together. Don't like your attitude.
Team can't shoot, but you only play Evan Fournier 27 games this season.
Now, so the cocaine's happening.
Second.
When does that crack come into play for you?
The time in the playoffs. Grimes airball at the end of the game.
You stupid.
Jalen Brunson spectacular.
He ain't lying.
41 points. But he was the only one who showed up.
Yep, of course. Something wrong here.
Done. Season's over.
All right, man, I'm going now, y'all. I promise y'all I'm going to leave up out of here.
Bruh. Tom Thibodeau.
Bruh. Yep, of course. Something wrong here.
27 games this season. Don't give him a second time.
Stephen A! What happened to your hairline, man? Worried about those dicks, man. You grew it back and he lost it.
You must be out your goddamn mind.
41 points. But he was the only one who showed up. Done.
Fatality.
Done. I needed a few moments.
Emotional damage.
Guess in the end, I always knew the New York Knicks would lose. Tom Thibodeau. Team can't shoot.
Sacrifice.
27 games this season. Don't give them a second of time in the playoffs.
Are you not entertained?
Grimes airball at the end of the game.
Bruh.
Jalen Brunson spectacular.
He ain't lying.
41 points. But he was the only one who showed up. Done.
You stupid.